Hello, welcome to Ginge. Today we're going to be cutting the last clutch of the season. I hope it's not the last clutch of the season, but it's the last clutch we actually have in the incubator. So I'm hoping we still have a few clutches to come. I'm hoping about 4, maybe 5 now. I thought it was going to be 6 or 7, and it's looking like the females they're just not going to go. They're still on the feed. They've not shown any signs sort of cooling down or bowl wrapping or anything like that. So I just don't think that it's going to happen. There are still a few that are sort of moving around, looking a bit uncomfortable, bowl wrapping. 1 or 2 have gone off food, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So they're still locking, so I'm going to keep pairing and see what goes on. But yeah, hoping we still have a few more clutches to go before the end of this season. But we have got 1 clutch left, which is the Axanthic to the clown. So I'm going to be choosing a load of double hets. I'm going to be keeping the females. The males I'll be moving on because I don't really need the males. I've got a few projects on the go at the minute that I'm not in any. I've got 2, maybe 3 years before that female double hets are going to be ready to breed anyway. So I've got a few things in the pipeline that I'm trying to get clown into. Once that actually happens, I'm then going to put those other genes into the Axanthic, get some more double hets from that, and then maybe keep a female and a male from that, and obviously that male can then go to the female from the last couple of seasons ago. So that's the idea. Whether it works that way, I don't know. I might end up buying a male in. Depends on what I hit basically. I just want a real powerhouse male with the genes I want in him, just so I can actually get the hets I want basically, and try and produce what I want further down the line. But that's all going to be further down the line anyway. This is just going to be those building blocks working up to that stage. So we're going to get straight into this egg cutting. It's probably about 4 or 5 days after my last egg cutting video, which was my pastel Mojave leopard to my bumblebee. I had an issue with one of them snakes. One of them's actually got hard belly. I've tried to massage it, but I think I just got to the snake too late. The lump it's quite a large lump in it. It's very hard. I've tried to break it apart, tried to massage it down, and I've just not managed to do that. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep soaking in water and doing things like that to try and get that moved, but it's not looking good really. I'm going to keep going with it, keep persevering, and see if I can save that baby. But for now, I'm going to get into cutting these eggs. Not expecting anything fantastic to pop out, but yeah, it's going to be exciting for the future. So let's get straight into this egg cutting. So here's that clutch, and as you can see, we've got one that came out a little while ago. It's probably a couple of days ago. If you follow me on Instagram, then you'll see that I did actually show this one. I quickly cut it open just because it had come out and it was stuck. So I do like to just cut them just so they don't get a head stuck. But you can see here, this guy's got his head out, and this guy did have his head out, but he's popped it back inside. So this one here's got a couple of cuts on it, so that one I'm going to open up. This one's starting to have a little bit of mould on the outside, so I do want to cut that one open. And while I'm here, I'm going to cut this one as well. Now, these are on day 61. Normally I do cut on day 55 as long as the eggs are ready. If not, I will leave them a little bit longer. You can see on day 61, this one it's still plump. It's still got a lot of fluid on the inside, but the fact that 4 of them have pipped, I just feel that they're going to be ready to cut if 4 of them are pipping. This one's quite dimpled in anyway, and this one was just as full as what these were. There's quite a lot of goo on the actual substrate there, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut these. Now, they're going to be double hets, so they're all going to be normal looking, but I'm quite interested to see if that clown and that Axanthic influence comes through in the normals, because I've not had any double hets before. This is my first time producing double hets, so yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. So this one I can give you a quick look now that we opened the other day. Quickly open these 3 and then we'll see what's in the other 2. So this is the one that I've already cut. It's got a little bit of yolk left in there, but yeah, if you do follow me on Instagram, then you would have seen this one already. You can't really see a great deal when they are in the eggs. I don't like to cut huge windows, but because this guy was sort of half out of the egg, I thought I'd open it right up anyway. But yeah, there's a bit of gunk in there, but he should be coming out within the next couple of days. He's got a really cool pattern. It really makes my OCD happy. If you see those stripes there, they're literally perfect, and yeah, that makes my OCD really happy. But yeah, really excited to see these. I know they're only going to be normals, but it's what they can produce in the future, which is exciting. And yeah, just interested to see how that influence comes through in them. So let's get one of those other ones cut. Okay, so this little chap's got his head poking out. I do like to try and push the heads back in but a lot of the time their heads are just so fat they just get stuck. It's like a kid with big ears putting his head through railings, he'll never get his head back out. So yeah, he's well and truly stuck there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and cut around it, and then what I do like to do is I'll try and sort of tear the egg rather than cut right up to the snake. I'll try and tear that egg just to try and get to that little bit where he's poked his head out. Yeah, he's well and truly stuck. The other thing you've got to be careful of is because his head's up there, he's probably going to be pushing against the top of this egg with his body just to try and get his head back in. So it's always important, if you are cutting an egg that has pips, just try and sort of be aware that you could catch the snake. So it's just a case of being really careful. When I'm going to cut this, I'm literally going to push the scissors up and against the top of the egg, so that way I'm making sure that I'm not actually cutting anywhere near the snake. So you see, as I go in and I cut, you can see that little point there, that's the tip of the scissors, and literally as I cut, I'm going to keep pushing up all the way towards the snake. Now I'm quite confident cutting, so I feel that I can cut pretty close to the snake without hurting it or nicking it. You don't have to cut it that close. I mean, the snake will probably just wiggle out through that little gap eventually anyway, but I just like to make sure that they do come loose, just because I worry that they won't. So once I've got that far, I'm literally just gonna get as close to the egg as I can. Just gonna rip it a little gently. It's just one of the things you just got to be careful. There you go. You just got to be as careful as you can, really. So yeah, that's a little normal. It is quite cloudy in there. There's quite a lot of fluid in there. I don't actually know what causes that cloudiness. I don't know if it's where the snake goes to the bathroom inside the egg or what. I don't actually know where that comes from. I can see like what looks like to be some urate in there. There's like that white bit there on the right floating about. So yeah, I don't know if it's where the snakes go to the toilet inside the egg or not. I don't know if they do, but I don't really know what else that could be. But yeah, like I say, they're not going to be anything fantastic looking. I'd expect the pattern to be a little bit more cleaner, a little bit brighter than normal, just because of the double het influence coming through. But I'm just really excited what they're going to make. It is quite a long project. It's probably going to be a 3, maybe 4 year project to try and hit what I want with this. But it's just one of them things. You just gotta push what you want in the day. It's not really about getting it here and now. It's about sort of working towards it, and oh, that fly is back. And yeah, it's about sort of getting to that end goal that you really want. So it just makes it a little bit more worthwhile having to wait. Yeah, right, let's cut that next one that's pipped. There you can see there's quite a lot of fluid that's come out of these eggs. It's sort of making all that substrate stick to them. This is why I'm actually doing my own custom egg boxes. I want to try and get away from substrate completely and do something a little bit different. There's a few people out there doing it already that I've seen, so that's where I've sort of got the idea from. And for me, I hate all this mess. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working towards. Again, follow me on Instagram and you'll see a few little sneak peeks of what I'm doing over there with my new egg boxes. But there will be a video coming shortly. So this guy's absolutely ravaged his egg. There's like slits here, there and everywhere. Just pushing up with the scissors, making sure I'm not anywhere near the snake. Now when it does get to this stage, I can cut quite big windows, I feel, just because if the snake wants to come out, then I don't think it really matters how big you cut that slit. Obviously I cut on day 55 most of the time, if I can get away with it. So that's why I only cut small windows there, because I don't want to feel the snake to get stressed. But yeah, there's another normal. It's got a little bit of yolk left, I can see in the bottom, but it's really, really bright, which I would expect. Yeah, it'd be cool if something different came out. I don't think it will though. But yeah, that's really cool. Really happy with that. Alright, so this is the fourth one that's pipped out on its own. It's got a couple of little slashes here and there. So get this one open. There's not a great deal of fluid in this one. I think he's pushed all the fluid out when he was cutting those slits. But oh wow, that one's quite bright. That one's quite bright on the dorsal line there. It's going to be difficult to see, but you can see it's quite yellow on the top. That's quite cool. Yeah, again, it's just really cloudy in there. Whether he's gone to the toilet or not, I don't really know, but you can just see that side pattern there. It's a bit different to the other ones, but again, I'm not expecting anything absolutely fantastic from this, so it's just the excitement of what's to come from them. Okay, so I want to cut this one next. This is the smallest egg. You can see how tiny it is. It's probably about the same size as the chicken egg. It's absolutely tiny. I can feel the snake on the inside. Yeah, it started going a little bit mouldy on the top, so I do want to get this one open. But with this clutch, this is sort of the building blocks of it. So I'm hoping I'm female heavy. So I will probably be keeping majority of the females back, and I will be selling all the males, only because I've got a couple of males lined up that are sort of doing other projects for me. And if I get what I want from that project and I hit the snake that I want to hit, then that will probably be going to the female Axanthic that laid these eggs, producing double hets that way, and then I'll be holding them back and raising them up to actually put back to these. So it is quite a long-term project. It's going to get quite I can't talk. It's going to get quite confusing at some point, because there's going to be sort of, oh, there's his head. There's going to be a few genes sort of flown about and a few sort of double hets here and there. So yeah, it's going to be one of them things, but if I manage to pull it off in the long run, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So yeah, that guy looks all right. Looks normal size. I think he's just got a small egg, but he looks a decent size. And again, he's got that same sort of yellow pattern on that dorsal line, and it's a bit duller on the sides. But I'm going to be really excited to get these out just to see what they look like. And we've got the last egg. So this is one that's sort of completely full. There's no pips on it at all. Yeah, so I think this guy just wanted to wait. I know this is going to explode everywhere. Let me see, the fluid's just sort of pouring out. It's quite cool. But yeah, if the other four are sort of pipped out already, then I would guess that these are sort of on their way. Like I said, we are day 61 anyway, so I don't think it'll be too much longer before they do decide to come out. Yeah, everything looks alright so far. Just see his head there, and yeah, he looks exactly the same as all the others, which is good. The thing that I was worried about is I literally put the male clown in once, no, twice. I put him in twice and he locked twice, and then the female ovulated. So I was a bit worried that she may have retained sperm from last year. I mean, she could have, but when I spoke to the breeder, I've got a rough idea of what he's bred to that girl. So I kind of knew what to expect if it was a retained sperm clutch. But looking at all these, they're all normals. There's nothing that's jumping out at me and screaming saying it's something different. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that these are 100% double hets. So yeah, incredible. Really happy with that. And here we are. This is all of them. This is the one that came out first, so I do expect him to be out within the next day or so. This one hadn't pipped. This one pipped. This one pipped. This one pipped. And this little chap, while I was actually doing the egg cutting, you could actually see the top of the egg pushing up. So whether he was trying to get out or not, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he was just having a little move about and getting comfortable. But yeah, so that little guy there, I think probably would have been out very soon. Same with this guy over here. Yeah, so yeah, it's day 61. It's quite late for me. They normally do hatch around 57, 56, 57, sometimes 58. Yeah, the season has been quite weird for me. I don't know, I was speaking to more balls on Instagram, and I don't know if it's this season, it's just been really weird for me. I know a few other people have had some issues, and I was saying to them, I don't know if it's got anything to do with like the barometric pressure or anything like that that's causing these issues. I'm not entirely sure. I do not have a clue, but it's definitely been a weird one for me. So this was the last clutch, clutch number 5. Now I've still got a couple more females I'm pairing and I'm hoping to go. So it might not be the end of the season for me. Once these will come out, the incubator will be going off anyway. It just gives me a chance to actually start my custom incubator build. I've got all the plans in place. I've pretty much got everything I need for it. So it's just a case of finding some time to put it all together and do a video on it so you can see. But yeah, I'm really excited for these to come out. The other clutch, which was the leopard pastavi to the bumblebee, they're almost all out. There's literally one more left in the egg, and then that will come out. And I've had a couple of issues with that, which I'll talk through when I actually show you that clutch when they're all out. I've got a little bit of footage from it as well that you'll be able to see. So yeah, we're getting there. We're nearly done. We're nearly past all the pain, and I'm hoping that once all this is out of the way, next season is just going to be 100 times better. So yeah, it's definitely one to look out for. So that was the egg cutting. I think they look absolutely incredible, even though they are just normals. It's just the pattern on them is really, really crisp. They've got some nice colouring on the dorsal lines, things like that. So I'm really excited to see how these are going to look coming out. I've not produced double hets before, so it's going to be interesting to see how they look once they have shed. What I'm going to do is, once these are all out of the egg, I'm probably going to try and wait for the majority of them to shed, but once they have, I'll probably do an update video on them and the last clutch. So that way you can see sort of both clutches in one. It just saves spreading it out over a long period of time. One of these have actually shed. There's a few more that are sort of due to shed in the next day or two by the looks of it. So by the time these are at the egg and everything else happens, maybe get them to shed a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens close to the time. But yeah, I will be showing them together. I've got a few little projects as well that I need to do some filming on. I'm going to try and get those videos out next week sometime. And that's going to be on my custom egg boxes, and it's also going to be on my custom dividers, which I have shown on my Instagram already. So go over to the Instagram, check them out. If you find them interesting, then make sure you subscribe, because then you'll be able to see the videos on how I make them and sort of the problems I've sort of come into while making them. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. I've got a lot of custom stuff coming. Once these babies come out of the egg, they'll be going into a tub, so I won't need the incubator anymore, and it just means I can actually start work on building my own custom incubator. I've got all the plans, everything ready to go. It's just finding the time to build it really, so that will be a full build video on its own, so make sure you don't miss that. And yeah, I will be doing a custom aluminium rack soon as well, just for my hatchling sort of to grow on stage, so that's going to be coming up as well. So loads of customization DIY stuff in, so don't miss it. Basically, I'm doing stuff that I've not really seen that much of, and I'm sort of putting my own twist on stuff as well, so it's something different, something new, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it. So I'm going to end the video there. Got loads of work to do today, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. This fly is doing my head in. I don't know where this fly has come from, but he's been in here for the last week and a half, and I just cannot get rid of him.